realize how high you're getting till it's too late. I am fucked up out here.
And your 420 break for Wednesday, Day, October 12th, 2022. First up, in a literal nightmare come true. Not for me, but this would be a literal nightmare come true as I'm finding out more and more that I want no part of being on open water. I'll tell you why. I'll get a little more detail as we go. But off the about 25 miles off the coast of Empire, Louisiana, 3 people, their boat sank on a fishing trip. I don't think they were supposed to be gone more than a day, but Saturday their boat sank. Sunday they were rescued. And as rescuers got there, saw that they were fighting off sharks. I don't know what kind of attack. I don't know. They described only that 1 or 2 people in this 3-party group had hand injuries. Hand injuries? And that makes me think that their hand just about got bit off. Fending off sharks, man. I'll tell you what. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know where the fear came from. It wasn't from Jaws or anything. I just always wanted no part of being on the water. And then as I get older, and I've had a real fucking seasick episode when I was out off the coast of Lake Michigan last summer. It was the worst thing that's ever happened. I had actually thought about when I go to Ireland for a year in a few years, I had actually thought about maybe I could just take a boat. You know, that would be kind of like a fun old school way to get to Ireland. Just take a passage. After that, I'm like, fuck that. Never, ever, 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 ever fucking again. Like people will say, and they're right to an extent, that, you know, shark attacks aren't a major problem. They're very, very rare. But in this instance, like, I think it probably happens more than is reported. If somebody gets lost off the coast or whatever, they're like, oh, the boat sank or whatever, and probably. But there could have been a shark attack, too. I don't fucking trust it, man. Next, what state is this out of? South Carolina. Again, I've said this before. I don't go out of my way to attack religion, but sometimes you just walk right into it. And this is so blatant. Like, how do you let this go? A pastor, a youth pastor, mind you, you try to be the cool guy. You try to joke around. At least that's the defense that they used when this pastor, Corey Wall, who was the youth pastor, gave stickers out to the kids. Tweet, my best friend lives in South Carolina and sent me this screenshot from her local mom group, and I just cannot. Oh my God. Like, the sticker actually says, I heart hot youth pastors. And here's the thing. They haven't fired this guy. Quote, placed on administrative leave. And they really haven't even given anything resembling an apology. Essentially, just, I don't know if it's tone deaf. If they think it's a joke, they said it was a joke. Oh, it was just bad humor. Sure. But there's a reason that ridicule against the church, especially when it comes to kids, even exist in the first fucking place. You know? I don't... honestly. Either you're dumb, which is probably the way to go, or you really are an offender, and that's just your front. It's just joking about it, you know. Next, the scams. You can really create any sort of scam you want if you just come up with a good backstory enough and you learn how to sell it, you know. This is easily the dumbest one that I've heard of. A Japanese woman scammed out of thousands of dollars in an international romance scam. She's 63 years old. She met a man on Instagram who said he was a fucking astronaut working in the International Space Station. They met in June, messaged for months. He then told her that he loved her. He proposed to her. And he says, look, when I get back to Earth, we're going to get fucking married. He's Russian. I doubt he said it like that. The astronaut, quote, asked the woman to send him money for landing fees and rocket expenses to return to Earth. I wish I had this fucking text message or instant message screenshot record. I wish I could just read through this stuff, you know. The woman sent him 5 payments between August and September, totaling around $30,000, which is 4.4 million yen. He continued to ask for money, prompting the woman to contact the police. You didn't think to do that first? It doesn't say... Did they even find this guy? How hard is it to find these fucking scammers, man? You know, they use these Swiss bank accounts or untraceable accounts. I don't know how it works. But you're the scourge of humanity. Right up there with people that don't know how fucking cruise control works. This out of Ireland, I just thought it'd be fun because I'm getting into Irish things. It's just kind of small town news for in Ireland, it seems like. Aggressive seagulls living in an area like northern Michigan near Traverse City, the Great Lakes region. There's a fuck ton of seagulls. Like to call them dump chickens because they're just picking through the trash all the time. I think they're one of the most beautiful fucking birds I've ever seen. Just love how like sleek and white they are, but they are fucking assholes, especially if you have food. So allegedly, seagulls in I don't know what town in Ireland. Super aggressive, attacking people, stealing their food, like I said. And the solution that they came up was to give them contraceptive pills to make them less aggressive. Apparently they're doing the same thing in Brussels, but they're doing it with pigeons. And what they're doing is giving them contraceptive corn pellets, which just, first of all, seems like a little bit of too much of human meddling. You know, that doesn't usually benefit us one way or the other. You know, I know that it's super dumb in science fiction to say, well, what would happen if these birds mutated and became giant fucking human-killing seagulls because of these pills, and they're just going to evolve and kill us all? You never know. I mean, that's really not going to happen. Anyway. So they're considering doing this. There's an organization called Birdwatch Ireland says, not so fast. Let's just hold off. It's so funny to any sort of like story like this anyway. But, you know, going to Ireland and really trying to immerse myself in the culture, I'm just like, well, they're still not as like, they're not immune to idiocy. You know, I'm like, I have this huge romantic like crush on this culture and country. Well, there's still fucking dummies over there, I'm sure. Finally, on the 420 break, this is from an advice column on Slate. It's actually called Advice by Jessica Stoya, and I see these things pop up every once in a while in my perusing of the internet. And I'm just going to read this thing. This is headline. No one knows what I'm up to under my desk at work, and we both loved it. Dear How to Do It, which is the advice column. They say I cis woman, CIS. Now, I apologize because there are terms that I am ignorant of when it comes to those things. I think I have an idea, but I don't even really know how to pronounce it. Anyway, I have long had a great sexting relationship with my boyfriend. Recently, on a particularly turned-on day, we were sexting while I was at work, and I took an item from my desk, which was about the size of a tube of chapstick, slid it into my vagina, and kept it there for maybe an hour, enjoying the sensation of it inside me as I went about my work and texting with him about it. We both loved it. Of course, I did it again, and this time the item got pushed so far inside of me that I couldn't pull it out. I got it out without medical intervention, thankfully, but I'd rather not repeat the half of the experience. So my question is, are there dildos for this kind of thing? All of my regular toys are rather long, thick, and rigid. I'm looking for something that feels more like light fingering than getting railed. Sorry for the graphic, you know. I need it more or less to stay inside when I stand, sit, walk around at work. Blah, 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 but not get lodged into my cervix again. Signed, a real-life sexy librarian. All right, first of all, you changed my mind about the whole thing. It's a librarian. It's okay. But... the answer was your standard, maybe you shouldn't do that. The items on your desk are dirty and you could get infections and blah, blah, blah. Just avoid it. And then it goes on to some actual recommendations for what kind of dildo you could get off to at work. My response to that you didn't ask for, is why the fuck you got to do that at work anyway? Like, A, you're supposed to be working. B, no fucking job that I have ever been at in my entire life has made me want to get off. On the great example of that, actually, the term best way to put it, great example of that, I was doing a radio show once. I've never even gotten ever doing radio. Did I ever think I wanted to just take a break somewhere and had a young woman come by the radio station. She's like, I want to see you and watch you do the radio thing. It was when I was doing the Metallica-thon, 12 hours of Metallica, and this was around 8 o'clock at night. And clearly, when she came there, she was definitely wanting to, while I'm doing a fucking 12-hour radio show. And I'm like, no. Actually, if I might, there probably would have been a good chance of that if my knee wasn't jacked at the time because it was like swelled out to the size of a tennis ball. But other than that, really, I have never, ever. Just wait. First of all, you're at work. You got shit to do. It's not very productive of you. 2, just wait. You'll be all hot and bothered, ready to go when you get home. Man, oh man. There's advice column from Smitty. Maybe I could make that a real thing. Be more like the Dennis Leary bit. Shut the fuck up. That's your 420 break. Eat some Doritos. Chill out and get your ass back to work.
Hey, old man. I got the fucking munchies real bad. How about you?
Hey. Smoke weed every day.